South Africa's draft 2026 capital flow regulations would classify crypto assets as capital inside the foreign exchange control framework. The South Africa moves angle matters because the proposal treats crypto as a capital flow channel, not just a tradable asset. The tension is whether crypto capital controls turns into a durable change or simply a sharp data point. That is why the first read should stay close to the confirmed numbers: 2026 draft rules, 35B on chain volume, and the immediate checkpoint around 11.18B market value. For a regulatory story, the practical effect is timing and access. Who must comply, what gets restricted, and which rule or order changes behavior. The reason to keep watching is that the next checkpoint can change the meaning of the first move. The useful baseline is that the draft aims to replace 1961 exchange control rules and bring cross-border crypto transfers into declaration, reporting, and approval systems. The key baseline details are foreign assets and FATF alignment, which give the story scale without requiring speculation. This scene grounds the viewer before the mechanism takes over. If the baseline changes, the rest of the story changes with it, because the consequence depends on whether those confirmed details keep holding. The most important baseline split is between what is already visible and what still needs confirmation from the next public signal. That scope keeps the segment focused on the mechanism that actually changes outcomes. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The mechanism is straightforward. The proposal introduces authorized crypto service providers, thresholds, mandatory declarations, and tougher penalties for noncompliance. That is the working engine behind South Africa moves, and it explains why the event cannot be read only as a surface move. In this case, the mechanism connects 2026 draft rules with 11.18B market value. When that connection weakens, the story becomes less about the initial number and more about whether the system, market, or policy process can absorb stress. That mechanism is the reason a viewer should watch process quality, not just the largest number in the story. The affected side is residents, visitors, exchanges, and payment users could face tighter oversight as the country's crypto market matures. For viewers, the useful question is who actually has to react: users, traders, issuers, regulators, operators, or institutions. Here, South Africa sits at the center of that reaction, while National Treasury shapes the next practical step. The consequence is strongest where the event changes access, trust, liquidity, compliance planning, or the cost of making a decision. That makes the impact measurable through behavior, not through hype around the topic. The open question is the exact thresholds and final enforcement approach remain unresolved, while the draft is open for public comment. That limit matters because the confirmed facts do not automatically prove the most aggressive interpretation. The safer split is to treat 35B on chain volume as established context, while leaving the unresolved part open until a stronger signal appears. That keeps the story useful without turning a partial data point into a conclusion. The open point should remain separate from the confirmed facts until a filing, market move, patch, data release, or official action closes the gap. If later evidence changes the read, the story should adjust around that evidence. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The clean checkpoint is the next signal is how Treasury revises the draft after comments, and whether thresholds limit routine users or mainly large flows. For South Africa moves, that is the point where the story either gains confirmation or stays stuck as an unresolved market, policy, security, or adoption question. The practical readout is to follow 11.18B market value alongside the supporting details, public comments, and 2026 draft rules. If that next signal arrives, the story moves. If it does not, the only confirmed position is the one already visible in the evidence. The viewer should leave with one concrete checkpoint, not a prediction about where the market or policy process must go.